Hey, it's Game Informer's Test Chamber. I am Andrew Reiner. That is Kyle Hilliard.
Hey, I'm Kyle Hilliard.
And we are playing Darksiders 2, the Deathinitive edition. That is Deathinitive.
Yeah, there's no
edition.
I thought it was Deathinitive when they first announced it, but
this is a pretty damn cool game from Vigil Games from the previous generation. It is now new again on PS4 and Xbox One and PC, I believe. We are taking a look at, this is Death. The first game in the series focused on war. It was the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Unfortunately, they didn't get to make 4 games like I hoped they would, or have all 4 of them in one game. Vigil is no longer with us. A lot of the members, Joe Madureira, artist who created all these character designs, famed comic book artist, he's off making his own games at smaller company Airship. I think it's Airship Syndicate?
Yeah, Airship Syndicate. They just announced a Kickstarter.
And then another team that has a bunch of people from Vigil is Gunfire Games. They're the people that ported this game here that you're looking at now to the new systems. And I'm going to read something here. This is from John Pearl, the design director at Gunfire.
Mr. Pearl, if you will.
Yep. It's rare that, as developers, we get the opportunity to revisit one of our previous games. The passage of time and the numerous games we've worked on since Darksiders 2 shipped has allowed us to return to it with a fresh perspective. With that said, we went back to what is a huge game and addressed things we didn't have time for or didn't notice the first time around. We started by revisiting every asset in the game, increasing the texture resolutions, and bringing the art up to spec to take full advantage of the new lighting and rendering. Darksiders 2 has a lot of DLC in the form of weapons, armor, and unique locations. These pieces of DLC, which felt separate from the main game, have now been integrated into the game and rebalanced accordingly. Lastly, we addressed much of the feedback we received after the game's release in regards to balance and bugs. With all these changes, this is truly the definitive edition of Darksiders 2.
Does he write Deathinitive?
No, he wrote
Definitive. Just did normal Definitive.
I think marketing probably came up with the death angle. So what is Darksiders 2? It is very much a Zelda-esque game. A lot of exploration and
a lot of puzzle solving.
Yep, but Death is a lot more agile than your typical Link type of character, right?
Yeah. He fights more like Kratos, I would say.
And you see the wall running and stuff like that is very Prince of Persia-esque, the way he can navigate the environments. But there's loot that you're picking up. There's a couple of overworlds that you go into. They're not very big.
Well, actually, I thought the main overworld I thought was pretty big, especially compared to the first game, like where everything kind of was condensed. I feel like they got a lot bigger.
It's a little bigger, yeah, but it's not like a Skyrim or anything like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that comparison certainly.
It is very much a hub world you can get across very quickly.
Yeah, with your horse.
Right.
You're a horseman after all.
And you don't just have these, what would you call these, scythes?
Yeah, you can get all kinds of different weapons and stuff. I mean, it's loot, it's like a loot-driven game. Oh, I should have equipped that, actually. So you can get all kinds of weapons and stuff.
And this is the opening of the game. You just missed the intro cutscene that kind of details the story. Not a good storytelling game, I'll say that much.
I would say it certainly has its heart in the right place, where it wants to tell a big story, but it gets really confusing.
Yeah, it's not an easy narrative to follow.
Yeah.
But well worth playing. I'm just watching this now. I want to play it again.
Yeah, like I'm not a big, I guess, I don't know what you would call it, like a tech junkie type of person. Like, frame rate isn't, like, super important to me. Like, I'd much rather have a consistent frame rate than, like, you got to hit 60,
Right.
But I will say that, like, while playing Darksiders 2, the screen tearing really bugged me. Like, usually that kind of stuff doesn't get to me too much, but the first time I played, screen tearing was really bad, Darksiders 2, but like already I can see that like, everything just feels a lot smoother, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Which is nice. I really love this game a lot. I'm a big fan of Darksiders, and I'm glad to see it kind of get a second life here. I'm glad, you know what I mean? Like, that they get to revisit it.
New publisher, Nordic Games. It was THQ before. Hopefully, they said they want to do new Darksiders experiences. Hopefully this does well enough where they can do the third one.
Oh, I hope so, yeah. I feel like not enough, there's so many developers who like reference Zelda in terms of like, I really like this aspect of Zelda, so we want to put in our game. But these guys were like, oh, we wanted to make a Zelda game,
Yep.
you know, and I would love to see more people do that. I feel like they did a good job. I really like this game a lot.
I think it's one of the most underappreciated games from the last generation.
Yeah, there's like, especially by the end, like, I don't know, it might be a spoiler since kind of the idea behind this re-release is that to get it into the hands of new people. But like by the end of the game, like it has some of my favorite puzzle solving of the last couple of years because you're throwing items to like a clone of yourself through portals and stuff like that. It's great.
Yeah, they definitely like the Portal series. And they included that same type of functionality in a lot of the puzzles.
Yeah, especially near the end. Let's see. And the combat's cool. I'm not super in love with the loot. Like I don't really.
What?
Yeah, I that might be a rare
Why?
sort of criticism.
You get new weapons and stuff.
Well, I like
cooler.
I like getting new weapons every now and then and new items, but I don't like getting new weapons every couple of minutes. I don't like exploring my pause menus in the middle of puzzle solving and action.
You're just a Zelda purist. It's like Master Sword and that's it. You don't need anything else.
I'm even that way when it comes to like Diablo and stuff. Like I don't really want to spend time comparing stats and everything. I just want like give me the new thing that's really good and let's move on.
Maybe you shouldn't play those games.
Sometimes the hooks get into me, but not super often.
All right, you almost got this guy. Nice.
Oh yeah, this is my like death mode. Forgot about this.
And it is in 1080p. Unfortunately, we didn't record it in 1080p.
Yeah, sorry.
Kyle and I aren't great at recording.
I blame the PlayStation 4. It's not great at being recorded.
Oh,
well, that's
my
how
God.
you do that.
Yeah, you blew that.
Ooh, sorry.
Nice.
Do I just run along here, right? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. He moves so quick.
I remember some of these pulley puzzles too.
The old pulley puzzle action.
No, they do a really good job with their dungeon design.
Yeah, I think so.
The series didn't get enough credit for that. Both games. And as a critic who had to review these games, it always gave me anxiety and like stressed me out because I'd be playing these games and it's like, I don't know what to do. But there's no strategy, guys. There's no internet or anything, so you just have to just kind of work your way through it. Kind of the true way of playing a game. I don't know how many of us are around anymore or how many people do that. I would like to know how quickly most people put the controller down and jump to the internet. Yep.
So yeah, I'm one of those. I really avoid the internet at all costs, especially when it comes to puzzle games.
I do. I think you get it. Yeah, there
we go.
I do, but at the same time, if I'm not really into a game and I get stuck on something, I'm just kind of like, screw it now. Like, just I need to get past this little thing. What are you doing?
I don't know. I want to see if we could break that.
Okay. Bug testing?
I'm gonna stop messing around.
Oh!
Scramble.
Yep. That's the scramble move.
Yep. They call it the scrambled eggs, I think, is what they call it in the industry. Right?
Yes, that is the technical term.
Okay. This actually, I remember this sequence in the game. It's funny because I had started it. I was still pretty new at Game Informer, and I remember they brought the game by, and I was a big Darksiders 1 fan, so I got to play through this like intro sequence to write a preview. And so it holds a special place in my heart.
One thing about this game is there was a game-ending bug that never got fixed. Jeff Cork ran into that.
Oh yeah,
and
that's not
how you do that. And he couldn't finish the game. So hopefully that bug's taken care of. I think it was like a good 6 hours into the game, where there was like an AI character, NPC, kind of this giant character that was with you that was supposed to move somewhere, and he didn't.
Yeah, he kind of helps you out. Yeah, poor Jeff. He never got to get the full experience.
Yeah, he's still sour about that. I mean, you put that much time into the game. And I think that was, largely because THQ went out of business, right? So
yeah, they couldn't like continue to issue updates and stuff. So, yeah, I was kind of a little close there. Man, this game is like made for me. Like, you know how much I talk about how much I love Prince of Persia all the time and Zelda. Like, they're just like, let's make a game Kyle likes.
But then there's loot, and then you're like, well, I don't like it that much.
I'll put up with the loot. It's not like I wouldn't even like say it's a knock against the game. It's just one of those things that it's like, personally, I kind of prefer the sort of Darksiders 1 system where it's like you just, instead of getting like, hey, here's 7 swords to pick from, it's like, no, this is the new one you need.
Right. And there's not a lot of side content in this. There's secrets to find, optional bosses, but you're not doing like a ton of quests. There's usually like 1 or 2 things you can do at a time, right? But that's fine. Like it really works well in that capacity.
Oh, yeah, that's my Raven, isn't it?
Yep.
Like he comes with
Yeah,
you.
you can see it on the map. It's kind of Navi-esque.
I forget what he does though. Like what's his
He'll
general...
show you things you can interact with, and then later on, I think you can tell him to do things.
Yeah, in the first game, your sort of Navi character was actually that guy that was that little spirit, and he was
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it
right?
was voiced by Mark Hamill. Yeah, I don't think he's around in this one though.
No, Mark Hamill is just a little spirit in real life.
Oh, that's
That's why he's not in the new Star Wars trailer. You got to look for him. Just a little speck in the air.
I saw an article the other day online that I was like, Luke Skywalker's absence in the Star Wars trailer is no accident. I was like, yeah, no kidding. Like, who's surprised by that? They're like, what? They didn't put him in there on purpose. It just made me laugh. All right, let's see. Where do I go?
Yeah, in that same article, the JJ said they're still working on the final cut.
Oh my gosh,
really?
scoop. All right, let's see. Here we go. Alley-oop. Let's see. Do I want to jump here? That doesn't seem like the right way.
Yeah, it did.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, you want to climb up there.
Scrambled eggs. Here we go.
No, that's
The
not
old
scrambled eggs.
That was the scrambled eggs. Are we going to get to a boss? Here we go.
Yeah.
Look at this game. This game's cool.
This might be an interaction point.
Look at this clock.
I think you're going to talk to someone for a bit here.
I think we get, like, sent back in time or something here.
Is that the guy from Faith No More?
Wouldn't be surprised. He shows up in games sometimes. Oh, I love this guy's shackles. He cannot get them off. Giant shackles.
Yeah, Joe Mad's character designs are so cool. Very unique.
I know why you've come. Your brother, the one called War, he's been imprisoned by the Charred Council and awaits their judgment.
Yeah, one of the things to point out is like if you haven't played the original Darksiders, like we did, like the storytelling in this game, like not really a super highlight for the game, but if you missed the first one, you can jump into the second one because the stories actually take place side by side.
Right. First game didn't age that well.
Yeah, I haven't.
I've gone back to it.
Okay.
It's like, wow, this was so much cooler in my mind.
I really loved it when it came out. I'd like to
I did
revisit
too.
it.
But I mean, games evolve quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Still fun. Don't get me wrong.
But you just, yeah, gotcha.
This is a big leap forward.
Should a way exist?
I think I fight this guy right now. I think we're gonna go into a boss fight.
I don't think they up-res that. That was a look at the old version.
Well, he's looking into the past, I think, or something like that, right?
You will take it back.
In exchange for its secrets, you agreed to keep the amulet.
No. The
Characters
voices,
without mouths?
they curse and
Cheaper to
threaten.
animate.
Yeah,
They
right.
cry to return.
Oh, yeah. The mask is a whole thing, right?
Right.
He wears a mask because he's sad about something he did in the past.
And it's a skull, and it looks cool.
Yeah, that too.
Open the portal.
Yeah, come on,
Will not
Beardy.
pass while I live.
Right, let's see if I can beat this guy.
So be it.
Remember Sobe? The drink Sobe?
Yeah, they still make that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle.
Ooh,
Your
growling.
brethren are trapped in eternal torment.
Ah, jeez. Shut this guy up. Let's fight.
And what of war? Would you kill your brother to save your precious
I just need more games like this. I guess there isn't a market for it or something, but
so certain?
Just sort of like high gothic fantasy
Yeah, it's-
action.
yeah, it's like you hear like, Devil May Cry might not be coming back anytime soon. I thought that game was great. The last one that came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
forgot
more,
about this.
actually.
Yeah, I'm like
So that's-
fighting a version of
Yeah,
it.
so it's the guy from the first game. The protagonist.
You hold down. Okay. Oh, come on, bro. Because he's literally my bro. How do I throw my sticks? That's what he calls them? My sticks?
Mhm.
Oh.
Not a
Remember
great
this
start.
kinda
You
being-
have health,
Oh, yeah. I
and you
don't,
could use it.
I don't really remember how to use it.
I think it's on a D-pad, right?
Yep.
There you go.
Good call. Let's see. There we go.
No. Ah, that looks great.
Yeah. It looks
really
good.
colorful.
Yeah, it looks good, and the new version looks really good too. Like, they're going to do a sort of kill move. So you have to press buttons here. Okay, here we go.
I don't know if I ever went through all the DLC on this. I'm kind of curious how that's all going to be integrated.
You know, I don't think I did either. I don't think there was any like story or like new dungeons, because that's what it would have pulled me back in. You know.
Yeah, let me see. Keep fighting. We'll look it up here real quick for you.
The wrong button there.
See if we can come up with what it is exactly.
Oh, that didn't quite go the way I hoped it would.
Oh no, there is stuff. There's Argyl's Tomb, the Abysmal Forge, the Demon Lord Belial.
Okay. Well, maybe I should revisit that stuff then.
Yeah.
Too bad. I'm assuming there's no way to bring your save forward. That would be nice, but also I totally get if that isn't an option, you know.
Yeah, Demon Lord, it says 50 minutes of new content, 2 new boss fights with War Master and Belial, and then 1 new dungeon. And new Necromancer armor.
Okay.
Abysmal Forge. I think I might have played that one, and that was it. That one.
Oh, I forgot how violent
1 hour
this game can
gameplay, 2 new locations. Slayer armor and weapons. Argyl's Tomb. Another hour of content. 2 boss battles. 3 additional dungeons.
get. Okay.
1 legendary weapon. The Frost-Forged Twins.
So this is all stuff that's included in the Deathinitive
this is all
edition.
integrated into the main game. I wonder if they're going to kind of say these are new quests along the way,
Like
or if
they're
they'll just be things you can stumble upon.
I don't know, yeah. Just sort of integrated into the main.
Yeah. And that's how he died.
That's the whole game.
Damn it, I want to play this again right now.
I know.
Ooh.
It feels really good. Like he moves quickly. The combat's fun. Feels great, Reiner.
Nice. And again, this is on PS4, but it's also out on Xbox One. And it's out today. So definitely, if you're interested in this, look it up. There's retail and digital versions. And thanks again for watching Test Chamber, everyone. We'll see you again soon. That's Kyle Hilliard.
Thanks, Reiner.
I'm Andrew Reiner. See you next time.
But others